It is 6:01, Monday, May 16th, 2016. Call this meeting to order. Roll call, Leonard Bud Belcher, Renee O'Donnell, Skip is not with us tonight, and Cindy Grant, Town Manager. Approve the warrants. I'd like to prove them after they're all read. Warrants, AP warrant number 132 for $6,566.82. PY warrant number 133 for $3,571.82. PY warrant number 134 for $587.77. PY warrant number 135 for $1,937.70. AP warrant number 136 for $2,869.88. AP warrant number 137 for $737,677.41. I make a motion that we accept the warrants as read.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? 2-0. Minutes. I make a motion we accept the minutes of 3/28/2016, 4/1/2016, 4/4/2016.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting with the Budget Committee. You want to do this or the fence?
It doesn't matter. We got our. You guys want to hear about the budget? No.
We're gonna pay it no matter.
We can do it either way. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me either way.
Well,
Actually, Renee, I got to go to work, so can we get right to the fence?
Okay, we'll
Sure.
get right to the fence then.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what we want to hear. Okay.
okay, well, I make a motion we move the meeting with the Budget Committee up to old business for the Bixford fence. Second.
Second that motion.
All in favor? 2-0.
Okay.
Sorry, Budget Committee, you're gonna have to wait. We've got a fence on the Tapley Farm Road that's has a complaint that it's in the way. The way this works is I'm gonna make a motion. Renee will second it, or somebody can second it, and then it's gonna be up for discussion. The Bickford fence was put up 3 years ago, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to make a motion that I would make a motion to keep the Bickford fence where it is as long as the landowners and homeowners sign a paper saying that if the plow guys, or if it falls over, it doesn't go back up in the same spot, it goes back up 5 feet back. Is that right?
Yes. I'll second that.
Open for discussion, hands first, please.
Well, let me tell you a little bit. Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve. I was going to say, we thought about this and thought about this. The fence is in the way. But legally, this is all we can do, because there's no ordinances for this fence. We can send them a letter, and we can say, move the fence. And they can
Or take it down.
Or take it down, right, take it down. And they can, correct me if I'm wrong as I go through this process. And they can not do that, or they can make a motion not to move the fence. And then it turns into a legal battle. Well, I don't feel like spending any money just to make somebody move a fence. Go ahead.
I have just a couple of quick questions.
Sure.
You had made the statement that the fence was in the way.
The fence is too close to the road. But
According to,
just the right-of-way of the road, that's all. Just the right-of-way of the road.
is it in violation of any code? Any state laws?
Cindy? No?
No. Is
No.
it currently a visibility issue for the plow trucks?
No.
Is it visibility for the bus
No.
drivers? I guess I'm wondering why we're having this discussion then.
And the other thing was that corner, especially since it's been paved. I mean, they cleaned out a lot of the lilac
Absolutely.
bushes, the fence that's back. That since it's been paved, this is kind of my own personal feeling. That corner, I feel like they're going to be going through there a lot faster, and I think that people are worried about their kids. A lot of people ride horses over there. I understand that. I've asked Cindy to call and put a couple stop signs on the Littlefield Road
Right.
to slow them down at that intersection, because it's not their fault, but their house is too close to the road. It's been there forever,
Certainly.
you know.
I guess my question would be, I drive this road now on a daily basis. When I come to that intersection and I hit that stop sign, my vehicle is well beyond the end of that fence. Were those hedges in the way? Absolutely.
Right.
Was I the first to voice that opinion? Probably. They
Yeah.
are. They were a visibility issue. Was that corrected? Yes, it was. So if my vehicle, if I'm coming to the stop sign at that intersection, and that fence is behind me, I guess I don't understand where the concern comes that it's in the way. The fence itself, since that's what's up for discussion.
Linda?
Is the fence in the town right away?
Yes.
Yes.
It's in the town right away,
It's
okay.
in the road right away.
Right, it's in the road right away. Somebody has an accident on that corner and they can throw up their hands and say, oh, because that fence was there, who's gonna get sued? Not the people that have the fence. That fence is
But the
your
fence
property,
doesn't
that
block
fence
visibility.
is your property, and that means the town is liable.
Actually, the fence is not our property. We can
No.
have them sign a
Right.
paper that says
No.
their fence is
Now,
in the right of
I'm not talking about
way.
papers, I'm talking about tonight, I go over there and I hit that fence, and I say, well, it was in the way, may not have been. You're liable because that happened on your property, and on your property was a fence.
Do you have that in writing, Lynn?
No, I don't
Okay,
have
well
it
then,
writing, but what I'm saying is, you should have a legal opinion from
Well,
somebody.
we did get a legal opinion from
Who?
MMA.
From whom? MMA.
Right.
Okay, that, are they gonna go to court for you? No. They're gonna give you an over-the-phone opinion. If anything that happens on your property, you look at all these lawsuits around, if something happened on your property, whether it happened because of something you owned or something somebody else owned, it's on your property. And if that's on the town of Newburgh's property, you're just opening yourself up for a lawsuit, no matter what they say. If the fence gets knocked down, okay, we'll move it. If something happens, we'll move it. They're admitting it's their fence, which
Well, we
is-
have fences all over town that are in the right of way. You've got cow fences all over town that are
Right.
in the right of way.
So-
Do you want me to ask Keith Miller or Richie Bartlett or any of those guys to move their fences?
I think you'd find that they would have a different kind of stand on that.
Well, I mean, it sets a precedent.
Okay, all right. Linda, you're saying it's our liability. I'll have Cindy look into it. If you brought me paperwork that showed me that it's our liability, then I would be more than happy to go with that.
I have to go to my attorney and ask him to write an opinion for something for the town. I don't think so. I'm saying that it's your responsibility to do
So,
that.
so you want this board to take what you're saying?
As a legal
I'm
opinion.
asking you, I'm not telling you, I'm asking you if you are not responsible, if that is on your town property. If, is where the fence sits right now, who owns
Well,
the property?
The people own it, but we have the right of way of
The
it.
town.
right,
But we also have the right of way to the edge of their house.
right.
If somebody hits if they take the fence down, they hit the edge of the house, is that still our liability?
No,
It's the same with turning on, if we hit the house,
The house was there when they bought it.
Okay, if we
The
turn
fence
into
was
Lindsay-
not. That's the difference.
if we turn into the Lindsay Road, that house right there in the corner, yes, that's been there more than 40 years, but whose liability is it? It's still in our right of way.
Right.
Right.
There's a lot of things in the right of way.
Yeah, okay. We'll take that, yes, Pam.
Am I correct that an easement means the town has access and use of, but the landowner still owns that property?
Yes, Bengal Hydro asked for an easement to put a guide wire to hold their telephone poles up on my land.
Right.
That's what an easement is.
And that's,
Still your land,
That's still your land, Pam.
that we're talking about.
right.
So the town doesn't own it, we still pay taxes on it.
Yes.
We still own it,
Yes,
am I correct?
that's
Yes.
correct.
So they own the land the fence is on.
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they do.
It's not about ownership of the land or the fence, it's the visibility is the.
It's like a discontinued road, if, correct me if I'm wrong, Cindy. Helen, you have a road that goes up up
Past
the
your
middle.
house.
If your border of your property came out to the road, it would actually be to, tell me if I'm wrong, to the middle of the road. Because now the discontinued road, the property owners take over that part of the road, even though the town has an easement on it.
No, they have a right of way.
Right of way of it.
Spans a width
That's right.
through property. But it's the same way with mailboxes. We put mailboxes in the right of way of state and town roads.
Stop signs, telephone poles,
Steve.
they're all,
So if it's not a visible issue, then just leave the fence alone.
Yeah,
I'm assuming most of you folks are from the neighborhood.
we're all on the road. We
You're all
stop
on the
every
road,
day.
okay.
and I drive that every morning. I work right up the road right now. Could be 5 weeks from
I
now.
want to add too, because the way that I guess this all came about, to me, is very disturbing. I want to stress the main reason why that fence went up. And if nobody understands that that fence went up to protect the lives of two very small children, you'd have a different opinion about it.
Yep,
It's the number one priority.
yep. Helen?
My other problem is snow removal. A couple of years, I think the landowner themselves pushed the snow out to the end of the thing and left a hump out in the road. Last year it was plowed around Costa Littlefield Road and plowed in front of where we've always intentionally put our snow.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, let her finish, please, Randy. Go ahead, Helen, finish.
And I'd like to know what we're gonna do with the snow now. That's my only problem, is snow removal.
Okay, from what I was told by Scott, snow removal there will not be a problem, along with Dana Willie that does the plowing.
And
We'll,
when they're not there anymore, as plow contractors, you'll always see that that is not plowed across Littlefield Road over onto the other side.
that's,
We'll do what we can.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep, that's fine. I don't feel like putting any undue burden on this couple to move
Oh,
the
you
fence.
you don't have to argue that
And
with
I know
me.
you, that's where you
Yep.
stand, but I just want all you people to know, we've thought about this long and hard. And Cindy, did you call the state about, did get an opportunity to call the state about stop signs?
Yes.
Is that,
Are we taking are we thinking a four-way stop there?
yes.
We can only put a three-way
Three-way
stop.
stop,
Three-way stop.
right.
You got
But
it.
yes, that's what I,
You-
because
I think that's a
that,
wonderful idea.
right,
Yeah.
you come down that hill and it's getting fast. If I had kids out on bikes, I'd want everybody to be
The
stopping.
best thing that Scott did, Wallman Pavement did, was build that road up 18, almost 2 feet, wasn't it? Which gave you all the visibility you need, and taking out the lilacs.
Absolutely.
Which Pam and Randy were, more than gracious happily to do it. I mean, that's,
They don't want anybody hurt. in
right,
this
like I
situation.
say, you come out the end of that road, I come out to the end of that road. I don't know if Steve and Karen go to the Tapley Farm Road now that it's tied.
Oh, I go around, sir.
Oh, I know you do. So the visibility there, I find it harder looking back towards Webb's now if I have a
So
passenger.
do I, yeah.
Right.
So,
I just think it would be a good move to put stop signs either
I don't
way.
have a problem with that.
Somebody's not sailing right through there.
Jeff from Sewell did say that he thinks if you put stop signs there, and I'm just quoting Jeff, the engineer that talked about this, I had asked about putting, I don't know if you guys were there when we first met, but I asked about putting four-way stop sign there. And he says it would cause more of a problem because the local people don't know that it's a four-way stop sign. So I don't have a problem putting stop signs there, but it's gonna be just like coming up Route 69 onto 9. You could have flashing lights, stop signs everywhere, stop sign, stop ahead on the road, people still fly right through there. Same with the Kennebec Road. So, again, I don't have a problem with stop signs, I just want people to know if we put stop signs there, you're gonna have to stop there. The other thing is if people don't stop there, we have no way to police. We've had people call and ask us about putting speed limit signs up. We can put them up all day long, but we don't have police or any type of
Right, but
enforcement. on it.
I had talked to Susie and, she was concerned about her daughter being out on a bicycle.
Yeah.
If you have somebody run a stop sign
Right.
and hit a kid, at least there was a stop sign
Right,
there.
right.
that will slow them down at least. It might take a little while to get used to, but I don't
Yeah.
think it would be that big of a deal.
Right, we all know it's gonna be there. It's the other people, the FedEx driver, the UPS driver that's on vacation, you
Oh,
know?
they'll soon figure it out.
No, they better.
Watch out.
Any other discussion on this fence?
So you're saying the fence is not on town property? You're saying that it's not on town?
The fence is sitting on Bickford's property. It is in the right-of-way of the road. It is not a line of sight issue.
I just
Unless
wanna
you
know
come
if it's
this
on
way.
town property.
Brent, do you know if that road is a 2-rod or a 3-rod road?
I'm thinking it was a 2.
Okay,
I just
Oh,
want to mention.
hold on, sorry, Kim.
One more thing. One of the options that MMA had mentioned was doing up an agreement, which I don't know if they'd be in agreement, just to put it on file that the town, they acknowledge the fence is in the right of way, so if anything, any damage to that fence comes about, we have a bad winter and it gets plowed over, we're not responsible to repair or maintain it. And if that's just a
Yeah, I would like to,
protection on the town's part,
I
if they're
would-
willing,
right.
we can get it drawn up and that,
yep. Kim,
What is the right of way? Is it 33 feet from the?
depends on how wide the road is, whether it's a 2-rod, 3-rod, 4-rod, 5-rod road, am I right?
33 feet on that.
Yeah,
From the center of the road?
yes.
And what exactly does right of way mean for the town? It means we can ditch and, you know, put culverts in and
Put a
stuff like
sign
that.
up.
You can
Put
use it
signs up.
as necessary,
Yeah,
as needed.
yeah. Steve?
Oh, if the snow did knock, we had a bad winter and the fence was knocked over, you said something about they gotta move it back 5 feet,
I would suggest moving it back 5 feet. That's what the motion on the table is.
but that don't give them much room between the house and the fence.
No, I know that. We've been in there, we've measured it.
Right.
If you
So why
walk-
couldn't you just leave it as,
Yeah.
for future reference, you own this fence, you sign off for as long as you own this fence, any maintenance, regardless. Rather,
Gonna have to amend the motion.
I was gonna
It
say,
doesn't-
that wasn't the motion on the
no,
table.
if the town wants no responsibility, and they as homeowners want to say, as long as I am homeowner and this fence is on my property, I take full responsibility for it.
Because if one piece fell down, it'd look kind of silly to move it back 5 feet and then have the rest of the fence there.
My only problem is, if you guys ever sell the house and that fence is still there, you know, the next homeowner, what do? Do we go to the homeowner and say, yeah, the previous homeowners put the fence, we'd like to have you guys move it back 5 feet? I don't want to revisit this again.
No, none of us.
Okay, so that's why I say moving it back 5 feet. That's gonna make everybody happy. I don't have a problem amending the motion to leaving it as is. You guys got full responsibility. I only put the 5 feet in there only for the safety of the town.
Right.
Okay, that's entirely up to you guys. If one piece falls over, usually it's gonna be in the middle of the winter. I don't know how you wanna handle it. You can put it back up.
Did you say repair or replace?
I don't remember. You'd have to,
Because if it says replace the fence, then they would have to move, but they would be
Repair
able
it,
to
right.
repair it, which is what you're talking about,
well, again,
okay?
you can amend it.
Karen,
So
Karen.
if we were to replace that.
If you take that down and replace it,
It
then
has to
move
go
it back
back
5 feet. But if something falls down and you replace a section or replace a post,
That's repair.
Stay where it is.
Yes, Karen?
At whose expense? When you're saying that fence has to be moved back, it should be moved back 5 feet, whose expense?
It would have to-
Is it the town's? or
No.
is it the
No,
No,
homeowner's?
it's gonna have to be the
It would have to
homeowner.
So
be-
you're telling them they should move the fence back, well, what if they don't have the money to pay for it?
Well, that's why
That's a lot of money.
that's exactly
Right.
why we're having this conversation.
Right,
If it has to, if the whole fence is damaged,
Right,
and it has to be replaced anyway, it's gonna be their responsibility to replace it, so they just might as well move it. That's what they're saying. If they've gotta move it, if they've gotta replace the whole thing, it's their expense to repair it, whether it's their expense, so.
But it has to
So
be
how do we want to
done.
amend the motion?
you can amend it. Just say,
Okay,
I
so-
wanna make a motion to amend it.
to amend the motion that if the fence is damaged, they may repair it in place, but if the fence is knocked down or a new fence is put up, it has to be moved back.
The whole thing.
The whole
It's not
fence. It has to be
There you
moved
go.
back. Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to amend Buddy's motion. I don't know if I get this right.
Second it.
That if the fence is damaged, they can repair the fence. But if the fence is knocked down, okay, if the whole fence is knocked down, or you're gonna replace the fence, you have to move it back 5 feet minimum.
Is this what Maine Municipal recommended you do?
Now, maybe municipal recommend we just have them sign off on it, which is part of what we're doing. Can you second that?
Second, open for discussion again
Yes.
on the amendment.
You do have a legal opinion from, MMA
Here,
right
I
there.
gave it to you guys.
Can I, do I have it here?
Yeah, I don't believe so,
No.
not in that package.
it was,
If the fence had been there more than 40 years, we couldn't do a thing about it, but it's been there less than 40 years, we can make them move it at their expense. Or, if we don't wanna make it move it, then you can get them to sign an agreement that they acknowledge that it's in the right of way and the town is not responsible.
right there.
Either way, the town should require the landowner to pay the cost of removing the fence. The town may want to do the work in order to protect its right-of-way, but the town should not have to incur the expense to move the fence. If the town will be digging up the right-of-way, which we weren't, in connection with its road project, then there probably is no issue of protecting the right-of-way from damage. If so, the town probably should request the landowner remove the fence at his own expense. If the fence is going to be reinstalled in the location, the property owner right-of-way, town should be installing the fence, should be at the landowner's responsibility. If avoided, the landowner could not, if the fence is removed, installed by town employees, the employees could be liable for negligence under the Maine Tort Acts, blah, blah, blah.
I like the blah, 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 blah.
If the town does the work, it would be wise to have the landowner sign a release of liability to protect the town, which the town attorney will
So,
prepare for us.
For the record, Pam, are you willing to sign a release of liability for the town of Newburgh for any damage to that fence whatsoever? Her response was yes, I'm
Yeah.
just saying it for this recorder.
Yes, you gotta speak up. You're recording.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Waldman, you guys don't have a problem plowing there? Okay, thank you. Any other discussion on this fence?
I'd just like to say thank you, everybody, for coming down.
Absolutely.
All in favor of the motion that was put on the table to keep the fence there with a written agreement to release the town of all liability? And the amendment.
And the amendment. I'm in favor of both, of all things.
2-0.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. This is most people we've had it since
know.
last town meeting.
Really.
Thanks for all your hard work.
You sure you don't want to stay and listen to the budget?
Come on. Your taxes are going up.
Yeah, that's not the,
That didn't even keep them here.
I got hot top roads, I'm good.
Buddy, thanks for the road.
Don't thank me.
Enjoy the rest of the meeting.
Thank you every time you write a check out to the town. All right.
Back to the budget.
That, make a motion, we move back to the meeting with the budget committee.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Okay, here we go.
That took 20 minutes, 25 minutes for a fence. Okay. Yes, Helen?
One question. When you get that, I want a copy of that. I will file if I have to get a copy of that agreement between them two.
Yep,
Because their insurance company is not going to cover it.
okay.
Okay?
That's fine, Helen, you can have a copy.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm the chairman.
Yeah,
I'm the chairman of the budget committee.
Present
I
it.
was like, Brian, are you gonna say anything over there, Brian? So, we are officially presenting the 2016 draft budget that we have worked so diligently on. We have our total municipal appropriation is, do you want me to do a rundown of this, Cindy?
It's up to
Can I
you
stop
guys.
you for a minute?
Sure, absolutely, stop me.
Do we want Wellman? There's no sense these guys sitting. through
Yeah,
it.
you know what, yeah, they don't need.
Jim and Eric. They run? Yeah, they
Just
do.
went out the door.
I'll go get them.
All right.
Let's move them out. Brian, you get your road page yet?
He thinks he's funny. He asks you that every time.
He wants to
Yeah.
move up the Dahlia Farm Road thing.
He wants to do, let's move up the Dahlia Farm Road, anything to do with Wellman
And the fire pond.
in the fire pond.
You almost had it. I didn't know there was anything.
They're back to the principal's office.
Yeah. I think Eric spent a lot of time there anyway.
Yeah. They were actually here for the fence, just to speak that the fence wouldn't be in the problem.
Oh, okay. Oh, we thought you were
But
here
if
for
you
like
had any other
the Dahlia
questions-
Farm ditching and stuff like that.
Okay.
We certainly can be.
You guys got this in your packet?
Yes.
Yes.
Quote
Yes.
on doing the ditching? And this is the original one that he sent out back
Yes.
a while ago. In June of 15. And I gave you a copy of what's left in last year's road budget,
Yep.
Yes.
which this would be paid out of.
Did we ask Scott to look at the dry hydrant?
One thing at a time.
Okay,
buddy.
go ahead. Sorry, that was on my brain.
That's a spank it over here.
Okay.
Okay, so this is to fill in the ditches on the Dahlia Farm Road that are way too deep,
Right.
basically. It says rock, I mean, can you clarify rock for me? Big rock, little rock,
Calls,
cobbles, okay.
so,
It's like screenings,
yeah, allow for drainage.
okay.
And definitely because Dahlia Farm Road's scheduled to be paved eventually.
After the 1st of June.
Right.
This work should be
Done,
Now,
really prior to the paving.
yeah.
right.
You have a problem with it?
I do not. I know that there's, you got 2,100 cubic yards on here. It's a lot of ditching. It's a lot of ditches. But that, when the gentleman called me about paving, when we were gonna pave their road, he was concerned because the ditches were so deep. He said, if you go off the side of that road now, he was worried we were gonna build it up more and pave it.
Right.
So, I can't remember his name, but. Do you want a motion for this?
Yeah, it's over. Make a motion, we have Wellman paving, fill the ditches per quote. Quote 9065.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Okay.
We're new at this.
So that can come out of here.
Okay.
Okay, Cindy, you're up.
So, the fire pond. The quote come in at $13,326 to replace the dry hydrant. Sorry to say, we've only got about $5,900 left in that account to do it. So I'm thinking that we're not gonna get this done.
Okay.
What are we gonna do about dry hydrant? We're
Don't know.
gonna rely on Glenn and his float?
Float dog, I guess.
How much is that? What, do we have a number on the float thing that he was
Well,
talking
Jim
about?
can explain, why it's the price that it is, because of, what he told me today, which I don't wanna do word for word, but, they can't determine, say,
Well,
that-
there's a few things. to it.
Go ahead, floor is yours.
Obviously, it's not something that we do every day, so we were probably somewhat conservative on it. But the gist of it is we have to do it in the wet. There's 15 feet of water there.
Right.
And in order to assure that it just doesn't break again, we feel we're gonna be there for 2 or 3 days. The fence has to come down, chain link fence, which is in not the best of condition. So our price included taking that down to do the work, putting it back up. Cindy let me know about a company that sells fire department equipment. So I had a good conversation with those people who were very knowledgeable about it, and he opened my eyes to a couple things also. So I originally thought we could pump it dry and do the work, but that's not gonna happen.
No.
It's a little bit, I mean, Scott was talking about hiring divers.
Oh, gee, Merry Christmas.
And which we probably, the price there didn't include that. But in reality, in order to assure that you've got a good firm footing to hold that pipe above the bottom, probably divers would be the only way to really do it. So it isn't really that far-fetched.
Right.
But we assumed it was gonna be a fairly difficult
Fairly involved.
to try to do it and do it the best we could
Right.
underwater, so.
Right.
Again, that's, the only thing I might suggest is if some of the volunteer firemen wanted to get involved and the town was willing to purchase the materials themselves, we could provide an excavator by the hour to do that sort of work,
Right.
and you might reduce your cost, but you'd also be taking on
Yeah.
the liability. So, just a suggestion, you know, if you wanted to pursue it, that might be a way if you could get some people. Fire department, I would think would be the most knowledgeable, and they're the ones that have to work with it, so.
Right.
You know, it could be as much as $1,000 worth of raw materials, probably a little bit less. You know, for another $4,000, you could get 40 hours with an excavator. So,
Right.
Right.
yeah.
but to do, for you guys to do it and do a guaranteed job that it's gonna work and it's gonna stay functional for a while.
It's a big unknown for us.
Yeah.
And we'd want to do it right, so.
Yeah. And the reason that the permit didn't allow to pump it dry is because the gentleman from the DEP that I spoke to, that I got the DEP permit to do it, said that if that was the case, that you had a lot more agencies that got involved and a lot more paperwork because of the stream right beside it.
That's why we couldn't pump it dry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to see the firemen do that. Get the firemen, we'll buy the materials, you know. You guys had most of the material anyway, right?
Why didn't you let us do it in the first place 2 years ago? That's all I'm gonna say about it.
I only
You
asked
talk
for,
to the chief about
well,
this.
I'll tell you why. I asked for 3 things from the fire department. I asked them to call Dig Safe. I asked them to provide an insurance certificate of the guy they were hiring to bring over with the excavator. And I asked them to say to the guy, what was his name? I don't remember his name. Mike, if it gets to be more than what you thought it was going to be, give us a per hour cost so we would know what we would expect. I asked for 3 things. They didn't want to do any of the 3 things. Dig Safe's a law, and an insurance certificate is an
Never
email.
done one without Dig Safe.
Well, Galen came to my office and told me he didn't need to because it wasn't in the right way of the road, Linda.
Well, you talk to the chief or you talk to Galen, because I've listened to this for 2 years. Could have been all done.
Okay. Could you answer that question though? Do you guys still have the material?
You ask the chief.
Okay, that's what we'll do then. Good enough. I'd say this is tabled. That was the end of that conversation. We'll,
Ask one thing, do we have a pump to pump out of ponds? Or is our pump still down, so we don't have any fire protection at all?
Yeah, we've got the pump, there's pump house there.
There's a pump house there, but I don't know if the pump works.
Yeah.
Yeah, but last I knew, you had to spend a lot of money for a pump.
To repair the pump.
To repair the pump.
As far as I know, it doesn't need to be repaired yet, because we haven't got a price on what it's gonna cost to repair it yet.
Well, when I talked to the fire chief, we had no pump. I said, you can't pump out of a pond? No. We don't have the pump to pump out of a pond, and we don't have any dry hydrants. So that left me to think,
We've got portable in there.
So I kinda thought well, I ain't gonna say,
It would,
I don't know.
it would be nice for us to have clarification
Yeah.
on
a
that.
simple question, because when I
Right.
talked to the fire chief, we had no pump.
Right, well, I haven't talked to the fire chief, and the fire chief hasn't told me anything different,
Okay, so we're assuming that we have fire protection.
as far as I know.
Okay,
So what we're paying for.
all right, yeah, well, we don't always get what we.
That's true.
Anything else for Jim and Eric?
No, I don't think so. I'm glad you
You
said
guys are
that.
gonna be shouldering and aprons on the driveways, and I see you started some of them on the Mudgett Road.
Mudgett Road was completed today, the aprons.
Yeah.
As well as, I believe, one paved driveway that was on Miles Road.
Okay,
So the two roads that have been surfaced, the aprons have been done.
okay,
The shoulder grading will be in the next week or so.
okay. The shimming on the Chapman Road, is that a go?
It's part of it, it's supposed to be.
That's part of our contract,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
We
No,
want to,
he's talking the section.
there's one section that takes about a 20-degree dip, close to the Route 9.
Did he give you a price on that?
He has not.
okay.
He told us between 4,000 and 5,000. I would like to have that done before you
Oh, yeah.
Overlay, yeah,
do your overlay on that road.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get something to you this week on that.
Okay,
It actually came across tonight, it is quite a
yeah,
yank.
yeah. Well, that's where, was it somebody called Brent and said we ought to have guardrails up? We got a price on guardrails, what'd that cost us? Yeah,
The Chapman Road, we want to get the surface on Littlefield Road and
yeah,
Tapley Farm Road, because the trucks,
yeah,
Right.
we don't want to put the heavy traffic over it once it's.
One of the other things in the packet, I'm assuming you guys are in contact with the state doing 69, I know,
Yeah,
because we got notification, they had awarded the contract to Lanes,
correct. Yeah,
and we have a contact
We've
number.
been in contact with them concerning the intersection
Yep.
69, where they're gonna put a catch basin.
Right.
I think we're.
I just wanted to make sure you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
were in
So
contact.
when we do surface the North Road, we're gonna stop short of 69. The
Okay.
state's gonna take care of it, because they put in the catch basin in. And
Okay. Right where the water always lays, right there. Is that what they're doing?
Right at the intersection.
yeah, right where the telephone poles and the right of
Perfect
way.
spot. That's right.
Yeah, so they'll give us an offset, and then
Okay.
we'll go there, and then they'll
Okay,
I am gonna
yeah, Brent,
contact
oh,
them
sorry,
about the Murray Road, because we always get a pothole at the end of the Murray Road, but it's in the state right of way. And they're doing 69, just to make sure they're gonna take care of that too.
All right.
Brent?
Yeah, I got a question. Do you know where they're putting the catch basin in over there on that corner?
No, they haven't, this discussion began a couple of weeks ago, and they have not, they were supposed to contact the town and us.
Okay.
But
Well, there's
prior-
one in the middle of Mac and Lynn's lawn over there. Been there for a lot of years.
Yeah, no,
But
the
they never
water
cut the
doesn't.
shoulders, so the
Right.
water never gets to
Yeah,
it.
they're gonna put it in the intersection. I believe it's gonna be on your right as you're turning on to the North Road.
Okay.
So they'll let us know exactly where it is, so.
They were out there marking it, maybe
It's
marked,
actually, there's a mark there.
they were
tonight.
marking today.
Yeah.
But it was in the other side of the intersection.
I just feel like I live in a metropolis. I got internet. I got a paved road. This is so nice.
That's why we can't get any grants, because we're suburban now.
Okay. I think that's it. I think that's it.
Any other questions for Waldman Paving?
I do not have any other questions for Wendy.
One other thing, Jim's gonna work with Scott when he gets back about getting us, you haven't seen this yet, buddy, but part of the estimate for main concrete repair is we're taking the dirt away from the sides of the salt shed and waterproofing.
Inside or outside?
Outside, because
and putting it back.
For years, everybody's been saying the water dumps right into the walls. Well, that's exactly what he said, the same thing.
Right.
So he said if you dig alongside of it, waterproof it, and then grade it away from the foundation, it would help.
There's drainage around that whole thing too. Haven't you got the plans here? With
I
salt
found
shed?
no plan.
There's drainage all the way around that. I was part of building that. There's drainage.
Well,
Well, last year we found tar underneath it, so,
yeah.
Well, around, and there's drainage all the way around. It's supposed to go out and go off this way. You haven't plugged that, dumping stuff underneath there.
Well, we'll dig around.
Dump it down,
Front
okay?
and back.
You go around the building, okay, and you know how you got your loading area? Off down on that bank, right across that driveway where they drive around with your loading area, right there somewhere there's supposed to be a drainage pipe that comes out.
It's probably
Drains that
buried.
water away from that salt shed.
Probably buried.
It's buried, and if it's plugged, that's why you got to back up with your water.
okay.
And they dumped a whole bunch of stuff there, but you
Yep.
must have some.
I haven't found it.
Nickerson or David had it.
Who?
Nickerson or David, they can't do that.
Anything else? Cindy, for the,
Cindy, were you talking just the two sides or the ends also?
They're just the two sides.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe it goes up on the back
Yeah, I can't
side.
recall. Just
But it comes up.
give a measure over it.
okay?
We should be all set now.
You guys can go now.
Recess time. Thanks.
Thanks.
See you later, thanks. Tell you guys they're doing a good job.
So, we've already discussed the
Yeah,
information on Route 9 and the Dahlia Farm ditching
yeah, the hydrant,
and the
stop
hydrant
signs.
and the stop signs for, oh, wait a minute. Cindy, did you call about that?
I spoke to a gentleman, Bruce Matson at the DOT,
Yeah.
and they do not give any, they said that would be if you wanted anything
It's up to us.
official, you could get an engineer's opinion, but
But
other
they,
than that,
the state of Maine does not need
They do not
anything from
regulate
us.
it.
They do not regulate it, so we can put stop signs
Yes.
there. Okay. Right. Okay.
Generator contract, what'd you find out about that?
I found we were paying way too much money.
Yeah, I saw that.
CMD Power Systems quoted us $220 a year for annual service. And the only thing is I didn't see, they do provide 24-hour service, but I didn't see an hourly fee, which I guess it doesn't matter, because we pay him outside of the service. If, like this one, he's gonna be sending us a bill for the one where it broke and he came out 2 days later.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea, we paid him $852.89 for a service.
For a service
That's
call?
an annual service, twice a year.
Right.
And these guys are talking 220 for a semi-annual.
Now, can we get out of that contract? What was MMA? I know you emailed me that, and I know I glanced through it.
This is kind of interesting. MMA, there is no warrant article authorizing anybody, and I've looked, and they explained that if you can't find a warrant article in town meeting for 2005 authorizing a contract for the servicing of the generator for a multi-year period, and if there is no subsequent article to ratify the contract entered in 2005 by the town manager, it would appear that the town manager acted without authority in signing the contract. An annual budget appropriation for a service contract will provide an implied legal basis for a one-year contract, but certainly not a 15-year contract. There must be a more specific vote of a legislative body before a town board or official has the authority to enter into a multi-year contract. And they reference a legal
A case, yeah.
case.
Yeah.
I don't know when the generator was purchased and what town meeting warrant article authorized the purchase. I wondered if a maintenance contract was included in whatever town vote authorized the generator purchase. If the generator is used at the elementary school, I wonder if the purchase and service contract were addressed in the school budget article rather than the municipal budget. But I don't believe that was the case.
I don't think so either.
That was bought by the town.
It was bought by the town, so this could be an emergency shelter.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, it had to be in this.
And there was nothing I couldn't find anything that regulated this contract. I think it was just done.
Right. My favorite part of that thing is she doesn't understand the language in the last paragraph of the contract. Neither do I, by the way. It says something about God and country and all kinds of other things. Not that that's a bad thing, but
Okay. Yeah, if we can get out of that contract and go with
For the
CMD.
next meeting, I can do a letter up to the Bangor generator,
Yes.
thanking them for their service, but at this point in time, we're
right,
not in need of their service anymore.
right. And then if they come back and say, we have a contract, we can say, we have no record of a vote where
Yeah.
we allowed anybody into a multi-year contract and,
Yeah.
okay, all right,
I am gonna put in the letter, though, explaining
okay.
that, the town manager at the time didn't have the authority to sign this contract, so,
Okay.
I will,
You're absolutely sure there was no selectmen's meeting for it? There was no selectmen's meeting?
had to be a town meeting.
I remember.
Selectmen don't have the authority to sign.
I remember coming up at town meeting to make the school an emergency shelter, and them saying that we would have to purchase a generator,
Yeah.
but nothing about a contract to,
This will be a
this is the
15.
service contract.
Yeah, I know.
Right, 15-year contract and put out in 2005,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Did she sign it, the town manager?
Nancy had.
Nancy Hatch signed it.
Oh, God,
She had signed
forget
it.
it now. You're probably not right.
Okay, there's only a couple other things left, so clarify sand salt, you all what? Mhm.
Well, wait a minute, did we accept this budget, or?
Well, I was gonna kick through the rest of the stuff and
Oh,
then go
okay.
to the budget.
Okay, okay, I'm on
These
your,
guys ain't doing nothing.
I'm on your page, let's go.
Oh, I love it.
You're the chairman, you tell me. I'm chairman of this board, you're chairman of that board.
That's why I spoke up.
Oh. Whatever you wanna do, I'm open to
Oh,
anything.
doesn't matter to me. You guys all set for a few minutes? Okay. Brian?
Very few.
Very few.
He's going over to my house with Gina.
Okay, so clarify sand salt amounts, I'll do that.
Yes, we saw that.
That was just to have on record for next time it comes about. And just for the record, we did not purchase 3,000 yards of sand, and then another 1,000, the way it was implied.
Okay.
We haven't even purchased 3,000 yards yet.
So we don't have the winter sand, is that what you're saying? We don't have the winter sand in already?
No, it was said that,
Last week, there was a comment, last selectman meeting, there was a comment about, how'd Kendall say it?
we got shorted on our salt.
Right,
Right, they
Because
I tried to think of
they
it.
used the 3,000 yards, and then we had to buy some in the middle of the winter. Well, we didn't. We haven't even,
And we've got,
1,656, 336, and
we've got all the trip tickets right here.
164. We haven't even hit 3,000 yet, so I just wanted to clarify that before it came about again.
Thank you.
The town report items, we were gonna,
I do need you to address, the perk issue,
okay,
because I can't do anything with the warrant until, so. the
okay, so,
Options are, and they haven't come up with an article to incorporate both of them yet. So your options are to put one or the other in there, or don't put any in there.
for a choice for the town,
Yes. And I put in your packets,
yep,
this spreadsheet.
Yep.
I can explain this to you a little bit.
look at that over there, look at that.
if the MRC, if we go with PERC, it's, and you use the $80,000 you give back,
Right?
That would have to be written into an article.
we would have to do an article accepting those funds in 2018 and ask that they be, and start a capital fund and put them directly in, just like they use them now as a tip stabilization fund.
Right.
So that we would take a certain amount of those out each year to apply towards trash, to help stabilize. But, and if you take the 80,000, divide it into the 15 years that PERC's talking, it's about $5,300 a year that you'd be able to take out towards that.
Right.
But keep in mind, you would earn interest on that. I called the bank. The interest would be about $2,000 a year on 80,000, which it would go down every year as the balance went down. But also, you got to keep in mind that you wouldn't be paying your MRC dues, which are about $11,000 a year.
Okay.
Because we pay MRC dues every year to
Right.
be members. They oversee our money, collect it, use what they need, send us some, and put some in this $80,000, which this $80,000 in 2 years is gonna be a little more.
Right.
It might be a little less. I think we're gonna be forced to put a little bit, or there's gonna have to be a fund set aside for decommissioning, which we're still responsible to decommission if PERC does not survive. We have to pay to clean it up.
And that fund will be established.
They hold the money at MRC right now.
But yes, I understand
It's
that. But,
on top of this $80,000.
but MRC, if let's say MRC will put some of that money that 25 million that they have, if they'll put some of that aside for decommissioning.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not something that we have to come up with.
No.
Will we receive that? Will we receive that ourselves to manage?
Well,
The decommissioning money,
Yeah.
I highly doubt it, because it's
Who
a.
will?
I don't know.
no, we will.
We will.
We will,
We will.
because,
we got.
well, only if they don't survive. If MRC doesn't survive and they have to liquidate, it all comes back. That's and it's $1 million. It's a little over $1 million that has to be set aside, which our portion is very small of the $1 million.
At this point, we don't know who's gonna manage that.
No, we probably have to establish another type of thing like MRC, but not to the extent that this one is, because we still gotta have somebody manage our assets at PERC. We still own stock, 25% of PERC, either way.
Right.
If you sign the MRC agreement, it's in their contract that they're gonna keep managing.
Did we all understand that if we vote to go with PERC, that MRC, once we sign a contract with PERC in 2018, we're out of MRC, that they're done with us?
Yes.
They will not deal with us at all?
Oh, yeah, they will.
Yeah,
Yeah, they will.
Oh,
say if we sign with PERC 2018,
right.
2019 comes around, PERC folds. We can still sign with Fiberite and MRC. We just ain't gonna get the kickbacks that you would if you signed with them now.
And you're gonna give them back the
What I
$80,000.
understood from what the guy that was here from Fiberite, or whoever he was from,
Right.
kind of said that once, well, if you go with PERC, you're out of MRC, you're done. And that was the way he stated it that night either. That was it. Once we signed with PERC, then even MRC's, they're gonna go on for another 20 years, but we have nothing to do with them. They won't manage us.
Oh,
Yeah, they will.
They will.
Oh, because that's not what, I mean, I asked.
What he said was, if we don't, and they don't get enough, they're done. What the contract says is there's different options. Us as equity charter members can sign with them right now at $70 a ton. They're gonna keep our $80,000. They're gonna manage our perk funds and keep the reserves that they get each year from that. We're still gonna have to pay them dues every year.
Which is $10,985.81.
Right.
So,
But at the end
but
of
let me
that,
finish,
he
let me
said-
Go ahead,
finish.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The second option is, if we don't sign and we wanna go in down the road, we go in at the $72.50 cents. We get none of the none of the revenue from this new plant, and we have to give them back our $80,000.
Right.
Right, but then he got to the end of that, and at one point, he did say, and he was looking at us and saying, and if you sign with PERC, then you're out. And I
that's,
thought he meant out of MRC.
no,
No,
no.
no, they
That's-
can't, no.
That's been their whole attitude, and they'd have got a lot more support, friendly support, if they didn't come across like that.
That's what he stated.
It's
that night.
bullying, it's
Right.
bullying. It's
That's
been
why I
bullying
asked,
the whole
that's why
time.
I asked the guy from Perk,
When do you want
when
us?
do you want us to sign with you if we wanted, he goes, whenever you want.
Right.
We asked Fiberite, and they say, I need you now.
Right.
They first wanted May 1st, that was the deadline, was May 1st.
And don't
And they
forget.
don't have enough right now,
Right,
so
and
they've extended it to June.
Right.
Because they can't get off the ground unless they have enough sign up. They're.
Right, and we have to provide them a guaranteed annual tonnage, where with PERC, we pay a little bit more in tipping fees, but we don't have, there's no guaranteed annual tonnage. The less trash we take over, the less we pay. We're all
No,
good
what
there.
I'm getting at is that MRC could still manage, if we went with PERC in 2018, and MRC was still going because they did get enough for Fiberite, MRC could still manage the fund? They could
Manage
still
our
manage
fund?
the PERC money?
No,
PERC money?
we wouldn't be
Okay, that's
members.
what I wanted to
We won't be
know.
Ours would be coming straight to us.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
but you just said you had to have somebody manage your investment at PERC,
I guess I got one more question.
so that's what.
We'll look into it.
Okay, one more question before we go. $80,000, you said if we.
If we go with
leave them, we're
PERC,
gonna get it, okay? But if 2 years or 3 years down the road, PERC can't do it, we still gotta give them back the 80?
Yep.
yeah.
So if we're spending the 80 before that time, we're kind of.
Well, that's why if
Well, I'm
we,
assuming it's gonna be prorated, not the exact
Oh,
80,000.
no,
Oh, no, it's all
no, you gotta give them exactly what they gave you.
Yeah.
Oh.
that's why we bring it in and we set it aside, we don't touch it.
Well, I mean, we're talking about reducing our tipping fees here if we do.
Right,
So-
but, well, only using $5,300 a year from that. The rest would be interest and the dues that go to MRC.
Right.
I mean, like your buddies just said, we pay almost $11,000 a
Yeah.
year
And that would
in
be no more
dues.
than.
That would, right, we wouldn't be paying
That's
that.
gonna drop our tipping fees down, Terry. Okay.
And we could,
I'll
I
get
mean,
to it.
I'm getting ahead of myself, but we could designate those funds every year toward our tipping fees. So-
And the thing is PERC, right,
I'm
and
sorry.
if the town goes with the PERC contract, or if that's what you guys decide, and something happens to PERC, they have in their contract, and I can't
Oh,
remember
God,
the
yes,
company,
Yeah, it's gonna take it
they're
over.
gonna
They're
take our trash.
Right.
We don't have to go that
Goes-
direction.
Right, they're gonna take that trash. I forgot about that. They are gonna
Goes
take
to
that
Norwich
trash.
Walk.
Norwich, yeah.
So
No.
remind me again,
No, the other one,
The other
Casella.
one,
June
Casella,
Casella.
Casella.
Yeah, Norwich Walk is fiber rights back up.
Right.
yeah.
Casella.
remind me
So-
again what you are looking for from us after this whole
I need to
conversation.
know if you wanna make a decision as to what goes to town meeting, if it goes to town meeting, or wait.
I'd wait. If
If
Perk
you
doesn't,
wait, you're gonna have to go to a special town meeting.
oh, we don't wanna do it.
Because it has to be voted.
So just, yeah,
No, I
just,
know, but why,
have-
if it's 2018, why have you got to?
Well, that's the
wait?
You
thing.
gotta sign up.
Can't you go
If you don't-
2017?
No, you gotta know.
If you don't wanna do the fiber right,
Just wait,
Oh, we have
you
to,
can wait,
2017.
then if something happens and you want to sign the contract later at a more price, then you've gotta explain
why we
to the
didn't.
people why you didn't do it back when you could've got the cheaper price. So,
There is
My-
absolutely no way you folks can just sign.
no.
We have to
No.
go before the.
Oh, no, that's
Oh,
why
yeah,
we're having
yeah,
this
yeah.
discussion.
My question about it is if we're not here in 3 years,
Right.
do we want to put that burden on the next selectman to make that decision? Or do we make that decision now?
I mean, you can pick one, go to town meeting, they have the option to turn it down.
I say you just put it in the article to go with Park.
I would like to have we can open it for discussion at town meeting though, and
Yeah.
tell them
Yeah.
the reasons why, for the reasoning behind our decision,
Yeah.
because, I mean, we held public meetings and
Yeah,
this is who showed up, 7 people showed up.
yeah, I mean, if you guys are comfortable with who you would like
I
the
just feel
town to
like,
go with, we can put that article in and, plead your case to the
Fiber Right doesn't
town.
even have their technology
I
down.
think that one thing that would help you guys, if you had an article in the town meeting, not an article, but a letter in the town meeting explaining to people what Fiber Right's offering, what Perk is offering. So when it comes time out there, someone might have made their decision, because it's gonna take a long time to make them understand. I'm just getting it now, after a lot of meetings. And I think that just a letter explaining the two options.
Right.
But the thing is the deadline now is June 30th.
Don't we have town meeting on the 18th?
No, she's saying put in a letter that explains her
Right.
choice.
Right.
The choice.
Right, the choice is between the two articles.
In the
Right,
book.
In the book.
But the article,
Ah, I
I'm
know
not-
what your problem is.
we need an article.
Right.
We need them to choose which one they
Right.
want to put in the book for the town to vote on.
Well,
And we've already had our public meetings.
Yes, you have.
If people don't come to them,
yeah,
Why
I
don't
mean-
you put an article in that says, we've had your explanation, and then say, we have 2 offers, do you want to hold on and wait until 2017 to make a decision about her?
No.
You don't want to do it? I'm
I don't
afraid
think so.
everybody's gonna say this is new technology, and everybody under 30 years old is gonna go for new technology.
And
If
nobody
you
under
end up
30 years
telling them
old
they're gonna
chooses
use
to
300,000 gallons of water a year
Well,
with that.
yeah, there is a few.
I can
Okay.
tell you that there is legal people been working, have come up with nothing to incorporate both of these options into one article. Everybody is coming back separate articles. Pick one. If you put 2 articles in and they pass both articles, what do we do?
right.
that's why we gotta pick one article.
But if you can make it a choice, let's hold off and wait another year on making a
Is this gonna be
decision.
more
You can still
complicated?
make the same decision. Next year, you may have to pay more at Fiber Right, but you've got to 2018 with Perk. And you kind of, let's hold off and see what happens with Fiber Right. Because in June of this year, you're still not gonna know what's happening with Fiber Right.
No, I'm not really comfortable in signing with Fiber Right
Right.
as of June 30th of 2016.
Right, that's why I say, let's put an article in there, and whether or not we go with Perk.
Right.
And if they want.
Right, and then we can open it
and
for
if we're done
discussion.
as selectmen in 2018, and the next selectmen say, why'd we go with Perk, we should have gone with Fiber Right, then fine, put an article in there to go with Fiber Right in
Right.
2018. So
Something so we don't vote for Fiber Right now. That's what scares
That's-
me.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not. If they-
so anyway, Cindy, you wanna know what to put in for an article? What's your recommendation? You're the one that's been following this since August of 2014.
Based on the
Somebody say something.
unsure ability of Fiber Right and that whole deal. I don't like being forced to do this now,
Don't like being bullied.
and based on the money, I don't see a big money difference between the two.
Right,
Perk's there.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, and I feel
I
like
mean, if I had to vote,
yeah,
I'd go with Perk.
yes, that's how I feel
let's,
right now.
okay, I'll make a motion that Cindy draws up an article for us to go with Perk.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, 2-0, all
Yes.
up for discussion. 2-0.
If you're gonna be okay and somebody says, why do we have to vote on this now and it's not,
Well, then-
it's not from 2018?
Then we'll
They can always
explain
turn
it.
the perk down.
That's right, all you're gonna do is vote no.
All right.
No,
Vote no?
I mean, it's a catch-22.
yeah.
It is a catch-22, no matter which decision's made.
I just scared if I vote.
What are you gonna vote for, Linda?
What do you think?
Okay,
All right.
Then we got to sway the crowd.
So we did the
Let's
trash,
make right around here, for
so we
God's
did the
sake.
trash
Somebody in
decision. Let's do the planning board ordinance amendment real quick, 'cause
okay,
that's easy.
you got that on there?
That was under my
It's on,
planning board
Okay, yeah,
yeah, I
ordinances,
see it.
town report
Right.
items. The planning board wants to amend the land use ordinance, page 10, section 1.17, the multifamily housing, they wanna change it from 3 dwellings per lot, not to exceed 4 dwellings per lot.
Right.
And page 38, definitions, kennels. The term kennel shall apply to 3 or more dogs owned singly or jointly living on one single premises, to 5 or more dogs. And this is just updating the animal ordinance
Yeah.
from the
okay,
state.
that's fine.
So
Do you need a motion on this?
if you're all set with it,
Just make
I'll
up
just
an
go
article, yeah.
with it.
Okay, yeah, I'm all set with that.
Okay, and then, annual warrant, trash decision, planning board, board goals and plan for the future, I think we'll
Table
talk.
that.
We can table that. Yeah.
And then, nomination and paving bill and report, we got the paving bill, we just paid it. $700,000.
Say it so easily.
No, I don't say that easily, believe me.
That nomination thing, you guys have never nominated
No.
anybody to the
No.
legislature.
No.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay. What's this one? Gallon.
That's, the article Galen is requested.
Request that the Board of Selectmen place an article in the warrant of this town meeting to bring it in compliance with the understanding reached by the Senior Citizens Committee and the Housing Foundation. In lieu of taxes, they make a payment to defray the cost of services, as in trash removal, fire department services. This is in the 1988-89 town report. Because of changes during the intervening years, the use of these funds should now include Newburgh Rescue. So an example, Article so-and-so, to require the town to use the pilot, which means payment in lieu of taxes, funds received from persistent housings for services as it was intended for. Half going to trash, half for the fire department, a quarter for the fire department, and the remaining quarter to rescue.
Where do these funds go? I mean, don't they do that now?
Well, up until this year, like I told you, the, we put the full amount in the revenue
Right,
and then appropriated, $2,500, which is been more than half, because it's based on, it changes every year
right,
because of the rent, it's based on the rent over there.
right.
So this year, during budget, I changed, instead of doing that $2,500, I let it all go to defray the costs of the services, which is because rescue had not been getting any part of it.
Okay,
If we put it in and let it go towards the budget, it's defraying the costs to the taxpayers, just like we have Knowlton, school money,
right.
we have Bickford roads and Bickford schools. It all goes in as a revenue and defrays the cost of the taxpayers. So that's what I did when I changed it this budget season.
Yes.
You're gonna run into a problem with putting that into your total budget and not keeping it aside, because I was involved when persistence went on over there, and this is federally funded. If we start playing with federal money, we may lose the whole thing. It's dedicated to, and it's not trash, because trash is their dumpster. And we don't have anything to do with that dumpster. They pay whatever. It is fire, ambulance, police, any services that we provide. And I can't get,
I'm assuming it goes in to defer taxes though, am I right?
it is in lieu of taxes.
Right, they don't pay any
In
taxes.
lieu of
Right,
taxes.
but it's to defer
No, it was.
Well, if it's in lieu of taxes, if you pay taxes, that money goes into
Revenue.
revenue.
Right, but if you've got property taxes, but this is clearly stated, if I could get my hands on it, I clearly remember very clearly that it's services, and you couldn't use it for nothing else, you need to put a separate article in that says this goes to the fire department, this goes to the rescue squad, this goes out of that money right there.
I
Cindy.
talked to the lady at HUD today that
Yeah.
oversees this program. She said there are no specifics, it's just in lieu of taxes. The reference that he has on here, what it says is, services from the town include garbage collection, volunteer fire department, and services of the local constable.
Yeah, municipal services.
Municipal services.
So it was to
Right.
help with the cost of those. It also says that there's been no effect on the Newburgh school system, nor has there been no rise in the crime rate. So police and school, based on what I read in here, it's not. If you look at the town reports, they started taking money out of this. This was in 88, 89, and I believe.
She's done her homework, hasn't she?
They didn't take anything out of persistence in 90 and 91.
Okay.
But from that point on, the next year, they took $1,200 of the persistent service charges to purchase pagers and emergency response system. The next year, they took $980 of the persistent service charges to purchase new pagers for emergency response system. Then they started taking 15 service charges to Newburgh. That's when they started to see if the town will vote to authorize to transfer $1,500 from persistent service charges to the Newburgh Volunteer Fire Department to help with expenses. And it continued up until now. It's over and above their budget, which I don't think
That was the original
that's
intent.
the original intent.
Okay. So if we
It's
put
doing the
this
same thing, it's just we're not raising the $2,500.
from taxes,
Well, you never did. It wasn't never tax money.
Yes, we used to raise $2,500 and take the persistence funds and apply it towards the budget. That's what I've done the last 4 years,
Well,
and
you've
that's
done
what
it
was
the last
done.
4 years, but
wrong.
before, you've done it wrong, because before that time, everyone else took and give it to them right out of, took that
It was.
and give it right to them directly out of that account, and.
so we
no
don't
else.
need to raise 2,500. We, instead of giving them 5,000, we just give them the 2,500 from persistence.
Whatever way you want, if there's 5,000 or if there's 4,000.
But the thing
Well,
is,
if
we
she's-
don't know what it's gonna be. We
Right, and
estimate
that-
it.
I remember, I do remember when there was a board of 5 up here, Mr. Yonts questioned that persistent fund heavily, right down to the penny. But I don't remember the conversation.
What happened was we didn't always know what the amount from persistence was going to be
Right.
when we would put the request in. And I know they did used to just split it in half so that half of it went to garbage and half of it went to the fire department. But there wasn't any, it wasn't anything raised out of tax money.
Yes, we
It wasn't part of the
understand that.
appropriation, it didn't go.
But what she's saying, she commits 2,500 from
Revenue.
from revenue for the budget.
We have, and that's where things get confused. I've argued this point a couple of different times on how it works. It used to be on paper, it looked really good. We're gonna raise this amount and pay it out of this. And that's the way it was done on paper for the longest time. What our system says now is we appropriate just like that report that you get. We're raising, this is what the municipal budget is.
Right,
This is what we got for revenues that are gonna apply to this budget.
right.
None of them say, we're gonna take $100 of this revenue and apply it to this expense. These revenues are gonna be applied to these expenses.
So how does it, you're just gonna reduce your commitment to taxes by X number of dollars, which is the $5,000 or whatever you get? Is that
Right.
what you're saying, that you're gonna
Right, I
use
think,
that to
I think
reduce-
this would complicate things, wouldn't it? Would this complicate the matter? Because I don't have any problem putting a quarter of it to fire department, a quarter of it to rescue.
But not part of the rescue budget,
Budget.
not part
But
of.
they
But
want this
yes,
on
part of the-
top of
They want
their
that on
budget.
top of their budget.
So you.
But we don't add
So,
$2,500 to the trash budget,
Right.
only to take it back off again.
Right,
so in other words, this budget, you're asking, if, so,
The budget you cut by 25%, yeah, that budget. Just,
yeah, fire department, rescue, et cetera, I don't know what I don't find it here. But you're asking us to take this budget and then add the 2,500 into
yes,
it.
but it's always been done that way because the federal government said it can't be.
well, she just talked to the
There were
people
no
at HUD.
regulations
The-
on
right.
their
There are no
pilot
regulations.
So in my thing, if people give us money to go to revenue, it
They
goes,
can give you money to go to revenue.
Well, it's in lieu of taxes, and taxes are revenue.
right?
I see absolutely no, you're just
I
going
mean-
to give them with their budget, the 2,500 you were going to give them, they're not gonna get it over and above their budget.
Exactly, that's how I feel. I mean, I don't see any reason to start complicating this. It's
Hasn't been complicated for ever since, what, 88?
it's money in lieu of taxes, and
Well-
taxes are revenue, and all the revenue goes in, and,
This way here, a quarter of it's going towards rescue budget and a quarter of it's going towards fire
right,
department
right,
budget.
okay.
Well, as Helen said, the other half is trash that they pay for, so why would it be a
I
quarter?
thought we
and a
paid
quarter?
for that.
No, they have a
Cindy?
dumpster,
They have a dumpster.
According to this is what it was supposed to go to.
Right.
right.
I think
That's what
originally,
that
I think
committee
originally we did
So
take care of their
don't-
trash, though.
We don't pay for those trash because they have a dumpster. We initially thought we were going to, when we done that years and years ago, we were gonna be picking up, because we've been picking up curbside forever.
Right.
But then we passed an ordinance that said anything like that was gonna end up with dumpsters.
Right.
So,
And this originally was done, believe it or not, the town of Newburgh paid $8,000 seed money to build
yeah, we did.
Persistence.
Mine is nice.
And thinking that they were gonna get tax revenue, and it went,
Me too.
they changed the law, and that's when this pilot money came
Right.
in lieu of taxes.
So, what's our decision here? Can we,
What's your recommendation, Cindy?
I
just-
gave you my recommendation when we did the budget, to just let the 5,000 go towards the budgets. That's what the other half has always done. And my point is for the last 5 years that we've had rescue,
None of it's
It-
gone to them.
none of it's gone to them. It's always gone to the fire department. So instead of trying to divvy it up between everybody, just let it go towards their budget.
right. I'm all set with that, because,
Do you have to put an article in to reduce that, or is that with other monies? I'm sorry. Do you have to put a separate article in to do that, or is it with other monies?
It's in our revenues, and
All
the
your
town
revenues.
accepts the revenues.
Okay.
Just like the Knowlton Fund and
Yeah.
Bickford Fund and,
Okay,
But some of those are designated strictly for school.
but our school budget is so much bigger
I know.
that,
I saw millions of them.
so,
Okay, then why do we have to accept money in separate articles for the Knowlton?
we're not gonna this year. I'm combining them all. Looking through these books for that other thing, I see that they've switched
those-
back and forth. They've combined them and
Ooh,
tore 'em
I
apart
forgot
and-
about that one, Gonna trust.
Let them go, let
And
them
it
go.
says,
It's gonna be
it
a
says, the article says to apply this amount from this trust to reduce
Yeah, but
taxation.
we've always listed them, I know it's probably a formality, but we've always listed those.
And they will be,
Oh.
they are listed,
Okay.
but they're just gonna be listed.
In one
the
article.
Individual articles, they'll be listed in one article
Okay. No
individually.
amounts,
Huh?
no amounts, just an individual.
No, there'll be amounts with a total.
Okay,
And they did it in previous years.
Brian's aching to get home.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
Right.
So Cindy, do what needs to be done for that article.
Okay.
And that should be it, right?
Make it a motion, please.
For this, you mean? Do we have to make a motion for this?
He's asking you,
Oh, okay. I make a motion that we,
Accept Cindy's recommendation.
accept Cindy's recommendation, okay? I was gonna say,
On the persistent funds.
on the persistence funds, I make a motion, we accept Cindy's recommendations on the persistence funds, period.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
2-0.
Okay. Can we talk budget now?
Sure can, I'm leaving.
So we can follow the budget? No?
It's good.
Oh.
Well, what we
Helen.
did, we worked, we did work
I'll look
hard.
on with you.
Thank you very much.
I don't know, what do you want me to, what do you want me to summarize here? Gentlemen, anything that you'd like to add? We worked hard to get the budget where it is. We looked at every line item there was. We are gonna be taking
100,000?
100,000 right here from fund balance. We have money going back into fund balance, but we're not sure of that total yet. Well, we have some from summer roads. We're
Do you know what our fund balance is now, Cindy?
It's the only number I didn't bring.
Okay, that's
the only
fine.
number I did. How about an approximate? Do you?
I think it's gonna be roughly, probably, I would say right around what it was last year, 600 and some, I believe.
And what are we supposed to have?
1/3 of our total budget.
600, maybe 20, 25?
Yeah.
Okay, approximately 625. And we have money going back in, we're just not sure of that total. I know that we're in about the $100,000 area, correct?
Yep. We're
Would-
gonna have roughly about $100,000 in roads left.
Okay.
And
We're-
there's gonna be questions now that, the summer road budget, the tad all the roads, somebody had said a comment to me, I heard at Dysart store. Wow, we tied all these roads, that must mean our taxes are going up. Taxes are going up, whether we tied the roads or not. The other thing was, well, that must mean our road budget went up. Well, our road budget actually went down
down.
because we tied the roads.
Right.
And needless to say, he didn't accept that one. So I told him about our budget meeting tonight. He's not here.
Well, you can nicely tell them everybody that's on, that now has pavement automatically goes up because they go from a dirt road to a paved road and your rate changes. Automatically changes.
Yeah, I've always lived on a tar road,
So have
so.
I, so.
Yeah, well, those that don't will see it, because I'm sure Jack will take care of that.
Right now, looking at an 80 cent on a dollar.
Huh?
80 cents on a
Increase?
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
So they're looking at a buck.
Last year it was 1470.
Yep, 1469, I believe was close.
This year we're looking at 1550.
And that is almost all school. Everything else got cut. Everything got cut, as far as I know.
Our winter road budget went up. Our winter road
At the
budget
beginning,
went up.
half of all the meetings, so.
The winter road budget went up.
Yes, our winter road budget went up, but that's about it.
That making your own little joke.
And that's still
County went up.
that's still taking $100,000 out of surplus.
The county went up, and the school's going up. And I did tried, when I mentioned cutting stuff, I was the bad guy and it was gonna affect our children.
Our children will suffer, was that the?
Yeah.
Yes.
Our
The
children will
comment.
suffer.
And that's taking 100,000 from fund balance.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah, what are you gonna do next year?
The school budget is about 70% of, and I questioned Phil Petula's
Mathematics?
mathematics when he first brought, but I totally understand it now.
Yeah.
I totally understand it.
My only question with the budget is, you guys have taken our road budget from 230,000 down to 197,
197.
950. And you said our payment this year is 189? Do you remember
I
that?
don't have my budget.
I thought it was 181.
181.
Okay.
Look, Brian's got all the paperwork over there.
Brian?
That's got his.
Secretary of the Budget Committee.
That's not here.
But anyways, I'm just questioning on whether or not $15,000 is gonna be enough for a summer road.
I don't know.
What are you gonna pay for that culvert we're putting on the Dairy Farm Road?
Huh?
What are you paying for that culvert we're putting on the Dairy Farm Road?
Hopefully grants.
Well, no,
All
the
of it?
first, yeah. $78,000.
$1,000.
That's why they're waiting until the 1st of June.
Right,
'cause that's when
before we do
find out
anything to
about
that
the grant.
road.
If we don't get the grant, we ain't doing the culvert.
Right.
Do you guys think we need to take more out of fund balance?
Well, I mean, one of the things on the board is the salt shed. One of the things that you guys wanted to do was to fix that salt shed and
But we should fix the salt shed and just stop talking about it, because
Yeah.
we've been talking about it for a while.
it's like paving the roads.
Right. Because and I've heard everybody say the outside is graded, so the water just dumps into that.
Brent, have you seen that?
No.
What's local road assist?
It's our
State
state road money we
road
get.
assistance for plowing.
So how much is this total?
Well, you have options.
Okay,
The epoxy injection are for the two long cracks down the length
Yeah.
horizontally, correct? And then carbon fiber reinforcement, I think he said, he thought they were 41 cracks. I think that's what the 4125 is for. And then the bottom part is for the waterproofing on the exterior.
So we can do the cracks on the inside, is that what?
Right, the top part is, I'm assuming, is for the cracks on the inside, okay? The bottom part is, recommendation is excavate the soil away from the building. Prep the walls for waterproofing. And then they come in and they spray and applied, they spray on waterproofing, is what they do. I don't know if I personally don't know if that's a better product or not. And then he was saying something about spraying a waterproofing up on the metal so the salt wouldn't eat away at the metal of the
Take
building.
the plywood down?
Right. Clean it all
reinstall the
up.
plywood.
So you have options here. You don't have to do the whole. We don't have to do the whole thing.
What I'm saying is if you did the outside only, that would keep your water from coming in. The inside just keeps it from
Right.
getting eaten away. And you're gonna give me a total on everything.
Yeah. Crap. 21,000 to do the whole kit and caboodle. I think we should do the outside for sure. And then you might want to just do the epoxy injection for the big, isn't there a big crack on the inside of the wall?
Long one down the side, is it both sides?
Maybe we do that and see how it fares, I guess. Because if you did the outside, that would be the 7488. That'd be 7,500. And then the 56 for the epoxy injections and whatever Wellman's estimate would be. I mean, I could guess at
It's
it.
gonna be, right,
I mean, I could guess it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'll guess $10,000. It could be less than that, but that would be $2,300 to $23,100 for the whole thing. But it's too bad to just not do anything to it, and
Let it fall
let
apart.
it fall apart and let it crack and shift and everything else.
So the question is, do you put an article in
Well, this
for
would be-
$20,000 to repair the sand salt shed?
Well, this would be under this year's budget. We could still take it out of this year's budget.
no, we don't have that for this year's
Right.
budget.
The summer road budget?
No.
The road budget, summer road, I don't know, does that qualify for summer roads?
It's buildings. Maintenance. Building maintenance.
Got any overlay left?
Nope.
I have a question about this overlay. What do you plan on using that 60,000 for this year?
Brent, go ahead.
I got a question, on this stuff he's spraying on that metal, is that supposed to stop it from rusting?
That's my
Eliminate the
impression.
rust that's there?
Spray applied waterproofing on the inside of the metal up 3 feet. It's stop it from rusting. I don't think it's gonna. Is it rusted already?
Oh, yeah, you get your feet through it, your hands through it.
Yeah. That's almost like a lipstick on a pig, kind of.
Yeah,
That's why I say,
it's just like where the walls are cracked, if you take the dirt out, like he said, "Dude, I don't know if this thing will stand up if we take the dirt out."
oh,
So,
When was the sand salt shed built, do you know?
Oh, yeah, I do. When I was in office, let me see, I think it was the first or second year I was in, and I don't remember what year those were. 1990, I got out, so 80 something. No, that one was.
Served its purpose.
Yeah, first time.
Time to get rid of it, put a new one in?
Well, it was when they first started hollering about we had to do it, we had to do it, we had to do it, we had to do it.
Now you don't have to do it.
They don't have to do it. But it served its purpose, because we had a lot of dirt roads, and you just couldn't keep it outside. So, 86.
do you want to table this till we get Scott's estimate?
We gotta have a warrant and a town report done by Friday.
Do you want to recess this meeting and go on Thursday?
Because
I can
Eric
bring you back the total.
said that he could have an estimate by
Yeah.
then.
Yep.
Do we want to accept the budget? We worked really hard on it, and you're ignoring
I
us.
have a question on this before you go. I didn't see where you paid your sexton.
See where we paid our sexton?
It's in the
I
cemetery
would
expense.
imagine it's in the cemetery,
Huh?
but
It's in the cemetery expense.
Why would salaries be in the cemetery?
Cemetery salaries.
go to the cemetery budget.
That's the way it was set up.
What is this? Let me see. I'm not looking here, that's why I guess I'm not looking at it. Guess I'm not.
$1,100. Page 15. 15.
I forgot to ask you about
So how do we pay?
that.
Oh.
You must transfer it out of there to make, you don't take no state, federal
Yeah.
taxes out of it?
Taxes, insurance, that FICA and Medicare's right there
Right,
too.
right there.
Page 15.
Okay.
Of course we pay our taxes.
I don't know, we had that happen to us, I think we had, one time we had to pay a whole bunch of bank taxes we didn't pay.
For what reason?
What's the matter?
There should be a couple of corrections on here. We've got fire department rescue wages 10,000, then fire department rescue wages 6,192. I know what the difference is. That needs to be PW rescue wages and PW fire department wages.
What page you on?
I'm on this.
Oh, the front, okay.
I'm on the summary total sheet. It looks like you have fire department rescue wages in there twice. You don't. You've got fire department wages and you have rescue wages, and they need to be public safety.
Fire department
What do you
rescue.
mean, we got three entities here, we got fire. We got
Fire
three-
department and rescue pays, the $8,900 is for,
That's that's the budget for the fire, for the rescue.
right,
Then the fire department rescue wages, that should just be rescue wages. And then above that, it's got fire department rescue wages, that should be just fire department wages.
Holy smokes, what are we even getting into this for?
Well, my question is, why are we putting lipstick on a pig for that building when you won't keep up that building, which is also in use? There's my question.
My question is, why are we getting into this for?
Okay,
Okay.
Do you want to, do you need to correct that? I mean,
it's just on the spreadsheet that.
okay, but the numbers are all right, right,
The
Kelly?
numbers are right, it's
Okay.
just, your titles
Yeah.
need to be corrected, and
Yeah.
it shouldn't say 2015 at the top.
I just wrote 2016 on mine.
Okay,
Well, we don't really have to accept it. We can review it and do what we want with it, right?
yes, we'll come back Thursday.
Okay.
You want to recess?
Yeah, I make a motion that we,
Jim,
Yes.
are you done for the night, or are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
unless you want to talk.
Yeah, I want to talk. I've got a couple of things. The Levitt Cemetery, you've got a tree down up there. It's been down there. I am finding out now, about 2 months, somebody ought to take care of it. It was when the big wind was here. And
Okay.
it was way down in the stones.
Did it damage any stones?
I did not walk over. I was at the cemetery
Okay.
on the side of the road, but I think it kind of maybe missed. And it ought to be taken care of. And you have 3 candidates, or 1 candidate even for the Selectmen's spot that's open?
We're writing you in.
No, you're not. If I got up there, I'd have all of you by the throat. You wouldn't be happy with me on the board.
You'd be outvoted, so.
It wouldn't matter, I still make my points. You don't have anyone, so what are the rules? What do you do?
Whoever gets the most write-ins, we call that person to find out if Mickey Mouse wants to serve on our board. If not, then we will defer it to MMA and ask them on what to do.
Well,
As it is right now, we're at a quorum.
maybe you ought to ask MMA before.
Maybe,
Before you, so you know what the rules are. What are exactly the rules for a write-in?
You write the most votes, right?
Well, no, there are rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linda, did you write me in?
Yeah, but there are rules to how it's done.
did you write my name in?
Yeah, I wrote Renee.
Rules.
It has to be
So,
proper name.
As long as the intent is there. If you wrote in Buddy Belcher, my real name is Leonard J. Belcher. If you wrote in Buddy Belcher, that vote still counts because the intent was there. Even if you put the box
ballots are all
there.
done, it has a write-in and a place to put their place of residence.
now, there is no thing that they have to, at some point, say or declare that they want to be a write-in?
No,
Is there anything in writing and print about all of this?
What do you want?
Look it up,
You want us to have a public meeting on it?
look it
No.
up, get on the computer.
What, I'm losing you, Linda.
Huh?
I want it open to the public. So there are.
It is open to the public.
So if you have
It's open to
20
public.
votes for Mickey Mouse,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get Mickey Mouse, we'll put him right here.
That was my grandmother's
No.
nickname for Gary Sibley,
No.
just FYI.
now, listen, because there has to be, does he have to be a resident of Newburgh?
yes, he
Yes,
does.
he
Yes,
does.
of course,
He
sure.
has to serve.
And when the people write his name on the ballot, they
But
have to
Scott
state
served for almost a year when he lived in
he
Hamden.
was
To
a
serve out
resident.
as, he was still a resident of Newburgh.
Okay, that's what so somebody knows when they ask what needs to be done, they can just tell everybody their name is John D. Smith.
And there's a
and
resident of
And
Newburgh.
they're a resident of Newburgh, and that's it, okay. All right, my third thing, on the minutes of the meeting that you approved, the last meeting that had all of the contention, and Craig Rhines was here,
Yes,
okay. Did those minutes reflect that he said at least 3 times that I heard him, I'm here as a taxpayer concerned about sinking money into the roads. I'm here as a taxpayer. Are those reflected in the minutes?
Those aren't done yet, those aren't the ones.
those aren't the ones we
Wait a
approved.
minute, didn't you accept the minutes minutes?
Nope, 4/4/2016.
So you haven't even gotten
She's got one more to
in
do.
May's?
She got one more to do.
Okay. It just should be noted, that should be noted in there, that he was referring as a resident, not as an employee of DOT, because there was a remark back here, well, I even, among other things, doubt if he'll have a job come Monday morning. And it should be in there, so he's got something on paper.
Well, that was not, I mean, certainly that wasn't from the board, Linda. I don't
No,
certainly.
but there was a remark.
Of course, and I said, we'd love to have you here as a taxpayer. I said it to him outside as well.
Yeah. It was,
So, it's fine.
it was kind of not the way it came out from
We
back
need to
then.
address this
Okay.
too at the bottom.
Need an abatement.
Okay.
Any other comments from the public? Yes, Brent?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys my notice tonight.
Tonight.
Okay.
If you want me to stay a little bit longer, I will, but I haven't been included in anything since I've been back.
Well, we've had
Um,
the company doing it.
can we think about it and talk to you Thursday night?
I don't know if I'm gonna be here on Thursday night.
Okay.
What time are you gonna be here?
Time's good for you.
Well, you're not gonna be here until 6, so.
No, I think we're talking about going early.
Probably 5,
5?
about the latest,
Okay.
5:30.
Let me just.
Are you gonna depend on the fire department running now every time and putting up signs that the road's washed out or something's wrong, like you do now, and if he's not there to do it?
You don't have to, you got Mary Ruth Road out there, you don't need anybody to maintain it.
Yeah.
Well, we need a speed limit sign on that north road.
Call somebody else, I guess.
Well, do you want to reconvene Thursday night? Or you want to approve this budget? What do you want to do?
Do we have any other questions about this budget?
You're going to have to make a decision on the sand salt shed on this budget.
Well, I would like to have a little bit more information. We're waiting for
Okay.
one other. So I'll
So-
make a motion that we table the acceptance of the budget and reconvene.
Maybe Skip will be here Thursday
Well, wait a minute,
night.
we've got to do this
Yeah,
abatement.
yeah, we will reconvene. I'll make a motion to reconvene, but we'll do your,
Want to do the abatement
yeah,
first?
yes.
I'll make a motion that we accept this abatement. It's for Alan Babcock actually got charged double for a trailer and a garage. So he's-
Abatement amount.
the abatement amount is for $507.06.
You need a signature?
Well, that was that nomination thing.
Yep. So Brent, can you meet us here at 5 Thursday night? Okay. Can you hold off on your registration until then?
Yeah,
Watch.
all right.
$80,000.
Say that again?
The mill rate is going up 80 cents for
$80 on a thousand,
on a,
because you pay your mill rate on 1,000, so the mill rate's going
it'll
up.
be $800 then for 100,000.
$800, $180 on 100,000. Make a motion, we reconvene Thursday, what's that, May 18th?
Yes, today's the 16th. Today's the 16th, isn't it?
Yes. 19th, I'm sorry.
19th, yeah. Today's the 16th. I'll second that. I'm just checking the, yeah. I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor? 2-all.